It's week 8 of the NFL season, and the Dallas Cowboys are 5-2 this campaign. Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Kyle Yeomans here for Hit Sticks. We're going to take a deep dive into Madden and the Cowboys and Chicago Bears coming up on Sunday. On this week's edition of Hit Sticks, we take a deep dive into how the Cowboys will match up with their second of 4 straight NFC North foes, the Chicago Bears, here in Week 8. But first, let's take a look back to Week 7. They took down the Detroit Lions. 24-6 was the final score. It was the return of Dak Prescott. The defense played phenomenal, and ultimately the Lions didn't take advantage of a couple opportunities. Here's one where Dak Prescott, early in the football game, decided to throw downfield and try and test that Lions defense that was bottom 3 in the NFL in multiple categories. It was a bootleg play action as he rolls out to his right, and then he sees CeeDee Lamb way up there over the top, and then he puts this one on the money. In between double coverage, there was a safety over the top, a corner underneath, but this isn't necessarily out of the ordinary for the Cowboys. They like to do this not only in real life, but they can do it also on Madden. So we're going to recreate it. Isaiah, Barry, Isaiah, I'll start with you. How do you make this happen on the PA bootleg?
Well, first of all, it starts with the formation, Kyle. We're going to go right here to a bunch set with CD right there at the point. You see the number one portion to this concept is he has to get off the ball.
Gotcha.
If he gets jammed up by BC, it's a wrap right off the back. This whole play is a wash. Throw the ball out of bounds and go ahead and turn over on down. So CeeDee Lamb has to get off the ball. The defense has to believe that we're running the ball with TP back here because they were running the ball so effectively with him last week against Detroit. We're going to see if these guys can recreate this play again here on Madden.
Without a doubt. And defensively, for all the young safeties out there, you see that guy in the middle of the field, that's me. I'm Elliott right there. This is where he lined up in the game. Well, if you're a free safety, you're looking at that alignment they have, you always want to favor that 3 receiver side. That was the mistake Elliott made in the game. He was too far out there. He was a fraction away from getting to that ball. If he would have made the correct alignment, which would have been a little bit more closer to that 3 receiver side, he would have been able to make a break and maybe made a play on the football. But I'm going to go ahead and line him back up to where he was, splitting the formation, which you do not want to do as a young safety.
All right, let's see if we can make it happen, Captain. There goes the play action. Coming out to the outside. Ball's gone. Oh! And there it is. Exactly how it went down the other day. Only thing that was different was he took a hit last time.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and take a peek here as to what takes place whenever you have an effective running game and you decide to do a little play action on. All right, so here we are right here. You see Mr. Dak Prescott right there lining up the quarterback position. The play action is key. Look at the second level. Look at the second level, the flow right there. It's going to allow Ferguson to go ahead and get this edge right here. Pressure is still going to try to find its way to you. Dak's on the run, keeping it going on the outside, delivers a nice ball at the high corner position. He has to get this thing over this cornerback, out the way of the safety, protecting the player, protecting the team by putting the ball towards the sideline, because if he puts it inside, we all know what can happen. Let's go ahead and look at it from another angle, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the safety position so DCBC can tell you guys why that guy should have been shaded to the other side.
And if we look at the free safety right here, his depth is perfect. He's at about 15 yards. That's where you want to be if you're patrolling that deep middle part of the field. But what I don't like about his alignment is he's kind of splitting the formation. He's splitting between the single receiver over there, which is Michael Gallup, and all the 3 receivers that are on his left side over there, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, and those guys over there. Where you need to be at as a free safety, you need to be favoring that 3 receiver side, because once that formation condenses, once that play action roll starts to happen, you see him start to condense to that side, but it's a little bit too late. And in football, inches and yards, they all matter. And we saw in that football game, he was an inch away from intercepting the pass because of his alignment. And here he's about 2 yards away from making a play on the ball because he didn't slide to that 3 receiver side. You always want to favor that 3 receiver side because that's the passing strength. And we saw right there, that can be a mistake, and Dak Prescott took advantage of it.
So the secondary of Detroit unable to make the play on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense, but the Cowboys secondary will have a test this week with Justin Fields, the mobile quarterback who's coming off of a big game against the New England Patriots. His momentum will continue, and the Cowboys having to replace Jordan Lewis. How can they do that? When we come back with more Hit Sticks.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys have seen a number of different challenges throughout the 2022 season, and that doesn't change for Week 8 against the Chicago Bears as the Bears bring Justin Fields and company to the fold. They're 3-4 on the season, but they have some firepower, and we saw that on Monday Night Football against the New England Patriots. Plus, the Cowboys having to deal without Jordan Lewis. Unfortunately for Lewis, it was on an interception, but he gets right back up and he gets tackled, and in doing so, suffers a Lisfranc injury. He is out for the rest of the season. You could see him struggling to get up, and unfortunately for Lewis, he is not going to be in that secondary. A secondary tabbed with trying to slow down Justin Fields, who, much like Jalen Hurts and Daniel Jones that the Cowboys have struggled against at points this season, he can extend the play. So, Barry, it's up to you. You got to find a way to stop him, and if you stop him, you get to give out an extra copy of Madden. Let's make this a competition. Whoever comes out on top here.
Well, you know DCBC is going to come out on top, but there's two things I want this defense to do. All right, when you're talking about Justin Fields, he's one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the game when you're talking about using your legs to extend plays and throwing the ball downfield. He has all the athleticism in the world. So, number one, what I want this defense to do, as you see right now, I got my whole defensive line set up in wide techniques. You got Parsons on the outside, Lawrence on the other side. They're in wide nines because we got to keep this guy in the pocket. He has this speed to escape, but if we get those good angles on him, we should be able to make him a pocket quarterback. And then you look on the inside with Odigizua and Neville Gallimore right there. I got him in wide 3 techniques because we don't want this guy, even though he may have the ability to jump out the window, which means go straight up the gut. We like our chances keeping this guy in the pocket. So I got the defense setting wide techniques right there to make him a pocket quarterback. And the second thing we have to do as a defense is we got to disguise our coverage, all right? This is a young man in the NFL. He hasn't seen all the defenses that there are in the NFL right now. So we're going to go ahead and disguise, all right? We're not going to give him the study guide to the test. We're going to make him decipher what the defense we're in after the snap. So we got to disguise our coverage, get my D-line and wide techniques, keep this man in the pocket, and we should be able to do big things.
Well, you know what, BC, that sounds good on paper, but unfortunately, this is not a hot pocket. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're looking at right here, if you decide to go to a wide 9 as a former mobile quarterback, I welcome that challenge. Oh, okay. You know why I welcome that challenge? Because if you're going upfield and you're going outside with your wide 3 techniques, then I can step up, and then all of a sudden, if I decide to run, I got a one-on-one with your middle linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch. I'll take a Justin Fields versus a Leighton Vander Esch all day long, man-to-man. So you can run up the highway all day long. Give me the middle of the pocket. I'm going to step up and I'm going to either deliver the rock or I'm going to take off and I'm going to shake and bake it just like they did on Talladega Nights.
Oh, you see who's controlling Van.
I see who got. I see who's controlling. Here we go. Ready, set, and let's go. Okay, all
right. Eyes on the quarterback.
Oh, got to him. Doggone it.
See it.
Oh, God, I'm running that back. I'm running that back. I need to see that again. Okay. I see I'll raise you one time.
Wide techniques.
Oh, give me out of there, coach. Give me out of there, coach.
You don't want to go that way.
And that's the containment that you were talking about right there. This guy does not like to sit in the pocket. You talked about him being young and being early on right now in his career. He's looking for ways out. You saw the Monday night game. Okay, he did not throw for a lot. He didn't even get to 200 yards passing in the air. So what he's looking for is opportunities to extend drives, move the chains on the ground with his feet, because that's where he is confident at. Yes. He's afraid right now if he puts it in the air that it might get picked off. So as you see right here, you talked about those wide 9s. There it is. That's the pocket that you're forcing him into. You're not giving him an option. You see the man coverage on the backside. Everybody has somebody on them right now. So from his point of view, as he looks down the field, he's like, crap, nobody's open. What am I going to go to next? What I trust most, which is my legs. Yes, so here he goes right here looking for an outlet. Boom, he sees D-Law forcing his hand right now. He's going to peel back to Michael Parsons' side. All of a sudden, he's trying to out-leverage those guys. He can't throw it this way. He's a right-handed quarterback. So he's going literally away from all of his receivers right now. If you can see, all his receivers are going off to the right, off to the right, off to the right. So now you're forcing him to a side where he's going to have to make an errant throw back across his body. He recognizes that. He tried to put his foot back in the ground, but it's too late because you got big 9-0 and 11 right there waiting on him.
And if we run it back, if we can go ahead and run it back to right, let's play it a little bit more, just a tad bit more. Let's get a little bit of action in there. Keep it going, and stop right there. What I love about this defense, I disguise it as a man coverage, but if you look at the linebacker, both linebackers, both nickels, that corner over there, Diggs, where are their eyes? All back at the quarterback. If you turn your back on this guy, he has the opportunity to take off on your defense. And if you see all of my defenders, they're facing Fields. There's no way he's going to escape and get long gains when you got all your defenders facing him, getting deep in their coverage. You love to see that. You love to see the pressure out there. Hopefully we see it on Sunday.
And the unfortunate thing for the Cowboys defense is Justin Fields is not the only guy on that Chicago offense that can run the football. David Montgomery, with his second touchdown of the year on Monday Night Football, he'll be certainly a tough test to take down for this Cowboys defense as well. How do the Cowboys stop the run? When we come back with more Hit Sticks.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco. Kyle Yeoman's back with you alongside Barry Church and Isaiah Stanback, continuing to preview the Cowboys and the Chicago Bears in week number 8. And we just took a look at Justin Fields, what kind of danger his legs are to this Cowboys defense, but he's not the only one that can run the football. Here's Fields in the backfield. He's got David Montgomery to his right here. Two guys, again, dual backfield, that can run the football quite well. Isaiah, how could the Cowboys try and slow things down on that defensive side?
I don't know. I know they got to do better than what BC right here is doing, because right now, two safeties up there up top is not the look that you want against this front. Because right now I have a 3-by-1 set, and that's what a lot of teams have been running against the Dallas Cowboys as of late. You think about the Philadelphia Eagles. They ran a lot of 3-by-1, gave themselves a lot of RPO options. You think about the Detroit Lions. They did the same thing. They watched the film. They saw the tape. They said, let's try the same strategy. They were effective running the ball at the hands of 4.5 yards per carry. So Dallas and Dan Quinn are going to have to do some things to change up what they've been showing on film, because right now, David Montgomery and Justin Fields are licking their chops at the ability to be able to run against this kind of soft run defense of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, if you look at Montgomery, what does he do well? He runs in between the tackles. This is a powerful guy, can break tackles. We saw last Monday night what he was able to do against the Patriots, running through guys. It's going to take more than one guy to bring this guy down. And you're right, Isaiah. If they take a look at that Philadelphia offense, what they were able to do with that RPO action, it can be extremely dangerous, because Fields has the same type of athleticism as a Jalen Hurts to go along with Montgomery, who's a power back in between the tackles. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right there, I'm going to go ahead and slide my guy down.
Single high.
I'm going to go ahead and slide him down in there.
Smart move.
In the trenches, because like you said, if you see that too high safety up top, you already know what time it is. It's running right down your throat time. So to me, I'm going to go ahead and bring that safety down, and let's get to work.
All right, let's see what we got here, okay? We got 6 guys in the box. I got 5 offensive linemen in the block. Ready like Freddy. Oh! Oh, no.
You saying curse?
Oh, no.
Curse.
Oh,
That's why we bring him downtown. That's why we bring him down there.
Man, pre-snap, as you guys heard, I was very confident because he had a too-high box, and it was only allowed for 5 guys in the box. Okay, he had 2 high safeties, 5 guys in the box. I was feeling good, 5 on 5. But as soon as you rolled down a single high safety, now all of a sudden you brought that extra run defender down in there. Now there's 6 guys for the 5 guys that I have to block, and that is a mismatch on paper. You obviously don't want that as an offensive line, and here it is right here. We try to pull the right guard. You guys see the right guard right here. He's trying to pull, because you just mentioned they like to go downhill and run inside the box. So here he is. Boom, the center cuts back. All right, the tackle helps out, but that guard has to get his eyes up. Not only that, this center right here, or not the center, but the left guard whiffs. He simply whiffs. You can't whiff on the offensive line. Whoopsies.
Great
right?
move.
Obviously caused some issues. That pulling guard absolutely took nobody. They win up front because Dallas's defensive line is more talented than the Chicago Bears offensive line, and that is the result of it. You need to see more of that, DCBC.
And if you love what the safety does right there and reading his run fits, his eyes are right there on that guard, number 76. Kearse does an amazing job right here reading that pull. As soon as that guard pulls right there, he knows his run gap went from the A gap to the opposite A gap. On the other side of that center right there, he comes straight downhill, puts the lumber to Montgomery, and gives him some sauce at the end of it. You love to see it right there. We hope to see some of that come Sunday.
The Cowboys on Sunday against the Lions gave up 117 yards on the ground, but if it's anything that DCBC just did, the Cowboys could be better here in Week 8. Flipping sides, though, can DCBC keep that momentum going against the Cowboys offense, who's still trying to find a rhythm, and can they stop the Chicago pass rush? With more Hit Sticks after this. Back here on Hit Sticks, where the Cowboys get ready to take on the Chicago Bears. And it may not be the 85 Bears, but this defense certainly brings some challenges. So Barry Church, DCBC, tell me exactly what kind of challenge this defense brings from the Chicago sideline.
Well, the challenge they bring is they play as a unit. You know, there's not any great stars on this field outside of Roquan Smith on the second level, but they play as a unit. The defensive line, they all have some parts that can get after you. Former Dallas Cowboy Robert Quinn is over there on the left end. He can get after you as well. And Matt Eberflus, the head coach for the Chicago Bears, who used to be one of the defensive coaches here for the Dallas Cowboys, he has got these guys flying on all cylinders. They're playing together. They're playing as a unit out there, and they make things hard for opposing quarterbacks and opposing running backs who try to run the football on them. So that's exactly what I'm going to do to Dak Prescott and this offense right now. I'm going to try to confuse them. I'm going to run a little bit of a fire zone. And for those who don't know what a fire zone is, it's when you blitz, and instead of playing man-to-man behind your blitz, you sprinkle a little bit of zone behind your blitz. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can confuse Dak Prescott out there and maybe, just maybe, get a takeaway.
You think you're going to confuse Dak?
No, I'm just saying.
Man, listen here, Dak is back, man, and Dak is not whack. Listen up, Dak has seen it all. You understand me? He's going to be back here. He's going to deliver the ball with confidence because he has a solid offensive line in front of him. Not only that, he knows where his hot reads are, and I believe that Kellen Moore is going to do some crossing routes and things of that nature to try to slow down the rush of Mr. Smith since he's so confident in his ability to come downhill. So I'm going to show you a little something right here. Matter of fact, first of all, let me identify where he's at. Okay, I see where he's at. He's sitting over there on the left side. Boom. Okay, we got action, Jackson. Ooh, got him, coach. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, run up out of that. Run up out of that. That's what I'm talking about. If they want to bring the heat, doggone it, I got the chocolate milk. Here it is right here. Okay, I'm going to go to the replay real quick in a hurry. All right, first of all, identify where the heck Smith is at. We don't want no problems there. So there he is sitting on your left side. You need to know where he's at all times. Once you guys have found him, you guys need to see that. Oh, here he comes. Tyler Biadasz does a great job of picking him up. But even if he didn't pick him up, look at what we have going on the second level. Right there, the nice crossing routes, got some rub routes going on. Gotta love it. Right here, easy outlet for him. Deliver the rock. Get some yak yardage.
A little bit of yak.
But look at the second level right here. Okay, the second level gets confused. Look at these linebackers pointing at each other. All of a sudden, they get crisscross, applesauce. Look, they try to stop, figure out who's taking who. That's exactly what you want when you have an aggressive defense. So we can sit back there, deliver the rock like that, and go ahead and get some yak yardage.
And that's the bad thing when you run a fire zone, that zone behind the blitz. Because if you don't get there, and the Dallas Cowboys did an amazing job of blocking up my blitzes from my linebackers. When you don't get there, there's a lot of holes behind that blitz there. And Dak Prescott was able to exploit it. So, good job, IRS. I'll give you one victory throughout this day.
I'll take it.
Good job.
So Isaiah with a win to cap things off here on Hit Sticks. When we come back, we'll wrap it up, and we'll see if Madden finally picks the Cowboys they've picked against them each week. Does that change here in Week 8? Wrapping things up here on a Week 8 edition of Hit Sticks with Isaiah Stanback and Barry Church. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Time now for Guys versus the Game. Madden has picked against the Cowboys each week this season. Here's how they think Week 8 will go against the Bears. And it started off early, a 25-yard rushing touchdown from Justin Fields to make it 7-3. That wasn't Fields' only big rush of the ball game. Second quarter, he had a pass over to Kent, made it 14-3. The Bears led 17-3 at halftime. They started with the ball, but Diggs came in, had an interception, big time pick with 5 minutes left in the third. Zeke punches it in from the 1 yard line. line, making it a one-score game. Cowboys actually tie the ball game as Dalton Schultz in the fourth quarter with a 7-yard touchdown grab. However, with 24 seconds left, a huge carry from Herbert gets the ball at the 26-yard line where Santos kicks a game-winning field goal for the Bears to win it 20-17. So that is how Madden thinks it'll go. Isaiah, how do you think it'll go?
I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to scrape these Chicago Bears up.
Scrape them up.
Okay, what about you?
I'm with you. I don't know about scrape, but the Cowboys are going to come away with a victory.
I'm going to take a win, too, for the Cowboys. Madden's just disrespectful at this point. They're 2-5 for a reason because they keep picking against the Cowboys. We're all picking Cowboys here on Hit Sticks. All right, Barry, you won the challenge early on. You get to pick this question. This is Corpat. He says, with Justin Fields being as elusive as he is, who is the spy for him moving forward?
Man, I'll tell you what, when we went against Hurts out there, you know who was a great spy against him? It was Donovan Wilson. Okay. They brought him down into that box on passing situations. I don't want him down there against the run because he's a little light, so I don't want him down there. But Wilson's a great spy. He has all the athleticism to be able to hang with Fields. Let's put Wilson down there.
In our normal Twitter question, Josh asks, if you could trade for one position to help this Cowboys team prior to the deadline, which one would it be?
I would say I need a run stopper at the defensive line position. I think that this line is still getting taken advantage of in the running game. I think you have all the pass rushers that you need. You need one big fella in there to just clog some things up.
Okay, so Josh and Corpat, you get a brand new copy of Madden NFL 23 and some knowledge from Isaiah and Barry. I'm Kyle. That does it for us here on Hit Sticks this week. Have fun on Madden. Have fun with the ball game coming up on Sunday.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.